Hey everyone, it's Cheer, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 simple ways to feel better while hiking if you're feeling a little off. And while these are 3 separate ways you can quickly feel better, it is especially powerful to combine all of these together. So we'll talk about that at the end. But first, I'm going to go over each one separately. So this tends to happen on a long distance hike, and I'll give you some stories from my Triple Crown journey of certain situations where these 3 things really helped. Where you're hiking along and maybe you feel a little bit off, maybe you're feeling slightly sick, but nothing too bad. Like Giardia is a whole different situation. So if you know the reason why you're feeling bad, and if it's an ailment that is really intense, obviously you need to take care of that. But this is just for situations where you're feeling a little off and you're not quite sure why. It's nothing super intense, but it's also not comfortable. And this is something we've been talking about a lot in our trail family online, in our thru-r community. We have a trail family, and we recently talked about food. And so these tips I'm going to give you are really about food. So I thought I would address these topics also on the podcast for you guys. So, the first way you can quickly feel better while hiking if you're feeling a little off is so simple. But sometimes when you're hiking along trail, you forget the simple things. So, I am guilty of this as well. I'm hiking along and I realize I haven't taken a break for hours and hours and hours. So, just simply stopping to take a break can sometimes help if you're feeling a little off, if you're not feeling great, maybe if you're getting a little frustrated. I tend to get frustrated, especially when I'm hiking solo. Sometimes in tough conditions, find myself feeling a little frustration for whatever reason. Maybe I tripped over a root and I never really recovered my mindset after that, or tripped and fell in the mud or whatever it is. These things happen on trail, type 2 fun, right? So just simply stopping to take a break could really help my mindset in particular. And of course, it's good for your body to take a break too when you're hiking for hours and hours on trail. Sometimes it's easy to forget that you've gone 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe even 4 hours without taking a single break. Maybe you're focused on the mileage. I know I get focused on the mileage when I'm solo hiking more so than group hiking. Group hiking I tend to take more breaks just because I'm with other people that have that habit of taking more breaks. So it's actually good for me to hike with other people because otherwise I get kind of caught up in the mileage. So when I'm hiking, especially solo, it's really important for me to remember that taking breaks are very important. So on the Appalachian Trail, when I hiked, I was guilty of not taking as many breaks as I did on the Continental Divide Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail. And I honestly think my mindset suffered a little bit because of that. And even in a group setting, if the group is a little frustrated, maybe there's a little bit of bickering going on, it's always a good idea to take a little bit of a break to take the pack down, maybe have a snack or whatever it is, and reconnect again without the hiking part of it, just kind of the relaxing part of it. So just stopping, taking a break, maybe doing a couple stretches, maybe taking a look at the scenery if you have a view is really great for a body reset and a general mindset reset. I'll give you a little story from the Pacific Crest Trail in the group setting. So I hiked through the Sierra section going northbound on the Pacific Crest Trail, and it was a very snowy year, the year I went through in 2019. And so tension was a little bit high sometimes because some situations we went through as a group were a little dangerous. So river crossings, for example, glissading, hiking through the snow, post holing. I did a full body post hole multiple times in that section. So tensions were a little high, and maybe tensions isn't even the right word, but just there's a little bit of fear that goes with that sometimes in a group and also solo hiking. So right after we went over Forester Pass, which admittedly was scarier than I thought it was going to be, we made it and we celebrated at the top. And then we started to descend Forester Pass on the other side. And we came to find out that there was no real safe way where people normally descend because of avalanche danger. we didn't really know what to do as a group. So what did we do? We took a break, we stopped, and we put our packs down. We had a snack and regrouped a bit and took a little bit of time to strategize and think about what the best way was to get down. So we had a couple options. We could go down this really rocky area, which was more kind of like rock climbing down, or we could go a different way where nobody had gone and glissaded down. So we came to those two options and we glissaded down another side of the mountain that nobody had really done before us. At least we didn't see any tracks or anything. So all was well there, but if we didn't stop to take a break as a group, we were all very frustrated and a little fearful at that point. Sometimes it's just the best thing to stop and think and strategize. And I know, I'm not sure if anybody listening or viewing the video has done scuba diving, but that's the first thing you do if you're in trouble. You stop and think about what to do next and strategize. So that's exactly what we did. So stopping to take a break in that situation was really beneficial for us as a group and also even for our safety. So if you're feeling a little bit off, stopping to take a break, I know it sounds simple, but sometimes we forget in our rush to make miles. Sometimes we forget about that, and it's a very important one. So stopping to take a break is key if you're feeling off. The second simple way to quickly feel better while hiking, if you're feeling a little bit off, is to have a snack. And this is great paired with taking the break. So a lot of times I'd stop to have a snack and then feel a lot better about life in general on trail after that. So that also brings me to the subject of calories. So you could also be feeling a little bit off if you're not eating enough. And I know a lot of people don't eat enough on trail. I luckily, and kind of naturally too, I didn't count calories or anything on the Triple Crown trails, but I ended up maintaining my weight for most of the time, except for Colorado when I felt kind of nauseous through the state. Otherwise, I kept the weight on and I'm pretty sure I was having enough calories at that point. But a lot of people don't get enough calories and they have to start counting the calories to make sure they keep the weight on. So it depends on your body type, it depends on your gender. There's so many factors that play into gaining weight, losing weight, feeling good, not feeling good, having enough calories or not for your body on trail. So making sure to get enough calories, even at these snack breaks I'm talking about, having a snack is really important. So in our last trail family meetup, we had Kathmandu on, who he's our OG member. He just got his Triple Crown on the CDT literally a week ago. And he was talking about the subject of having enough calories. And so he hiked with another one of our members and ambassadors, Just Mike. And Just Mike is really into the calorie counting. He's extremely structured and he is a very successful hiker because of that. That really works for him. And so he was hiking with Kathmandu and questioned, hey, are you eating enough calories? Let me see what you're eating at the snack break because I know you're not feeling your best. So maybe that's the reason. And so he took a look at what Kathmandu was eating and it wasn't enough calories for him. So he just suggested eating 500 calories at every snack break, which is every couple hours. So different things work for different people. That worked for both of them. For me, I was a little less structured and I was okay throughout my hikes. So it really varies by person, but finding that sweet spot for you is key. And you can always find that out while hiking when you first start your hike or during shakedown hikes. But things change once you get hiker hunger later on if you're hiking a long distance trail. So just upping the calories as your mileage increases and as you get hungrier is really important. So making sure to eat enough calories during these snack breaks is really important as well. If you correct that, that might help you feel your best and help you feel better while hiking if you're feeling a little bit off. The third simple way you can quickly feel better while hiking if you're feeling a little bit off is having enough electrolytes, taking electrolytes. A lot of new hikers don't really think about electrolytes. And I know as a new hiker, I did not either until someone told me on trail, like, oh, are you taking electrolytes? And I was like, no, I'm not. Can you suggest a good brand that I could get in the stores around here? So I didn't really think about it when I was first hiking. But once I started introducing electrolytes, it was early on in the trail and I didn't have a chance to get, sick or really needing a lot of electrolytes to correct that issue. So early on, luckily, I was able to get that information. So I never really had a problem. But I did notice once I started taking the electrolytes once per day. So I would take like a packet of electrolyte, or Mio is a really great brand. Liquid IV is a great brand. Kathmandu mentioned Banana Bag is a brand, and it's for endurance athletes. And that's really what we do out there with packs on is we hike, marathons every day. If you're doing a full through hike and you're really getting your stride. So, hiking over 20 miles, depending on your mileage, depending on how far you're going, but just on average, maybe you're hitting the 20s throughout your hike. So taking electrolytes is important because you're sweating all day and you're losing all of that. And so to replenish your electrolytes is really important. When I was hiking, again, in the Sierra section, I was hiking with my trail family, and one of our trail family members was feeling really off and a little bit sick on our way down the descent into VVR, Vermilion Valley Resort. So we were going down, and it's a pretty intense descent down, tons of switchbacks going down for, gosh, it was a long time. That's all I know, maybe an hour, or maybe even two descent. So after our descent, we set up our tents, and our trail family member told us that she was not feeling well. She felt a little nauseous. And we were thinking, okay, maybe it's like altitude sickness because we descended kind of like a lot in the past couple miles. So maybe that's it. And so I offered her my electrolyte packet. And so she took it right away, and she was just feeling so awful. And then eventually she said, oh, I feel a lot better now. And so the only thing she really did differently than normal was taking those electrolytes. So all this to say, if you're feeling a little off, maybe you're feeling a little nauseous, maybe you're just not feeling as energetic as you usually are, taking an electrolyte packet or taking like a little squirt of the Mio brand, anything with electrolytes in it could potentially really, really help. And this is something very much overlooked by especially new hikers. I know I'm one of those hikers who didn't even think about that when I first started hiking. And hikers told me I should be getting more electrolyte to feel as energetic as possible and to replenish all of those nutrients and minerals. And especially powerful if you're feeling off and you really want to nip it in the bud and you're not quite sure what's going on is doing all three of these things. So taking a break, having a snack, that's a good calorie amount for you and your body and your activity level that day, and taking the electrolytes. If you do all three things, in a lot of cases, how you're feeling will improve unless there's something else going on with your situation. But if you're not quite sure what's going on, those are three things you can do that can really help. And combining them together is really powerful, especially the electrolytes is key. So pairing everything together is really great if you're not sure what's going on. So I hope these quick tips help, and I hope they help you on your next adventure. If you're feeling a little bit off, try these three things, even more powerful together, and hopefully you'll feel a lot better. In the future, I'm going to be sharing a lot more of these tips with you guys. It's especially great if you're preparing for trail yourself, if you're a new hiker, or all of our experienced hikers learn so much from each other on these trail family calls and within our trail family online. So if you would like to join us, there is a free membership. You can just apply online, and you can look at the links in the show notes, or you can go to www.thru-r.com, THRU-r, if you would like to join us. So there you have it. 3 simple ways to quickly feel better while hiking. If you're feeling a little bit off, stop and take a break, have a snack that's at the proper calorie level for you, take some electrolytes, and then hopefully you feel a lot better. I know many, many hikers that are in our trail family have told us that this is a winning combination.